Hey everyone, it's Ben here from Vancouver Gadgets. Today we're reviewing the Dell XPS 10 10.1-inch HD tablet. So this guy runs Microsoft Windows RT, and obviously a little different than the iOS and Apple devices I'm used to using. But I'm a Microsoft user from many years back, from 3.11 all the way through to Windows XP at least. I haven't used Windows 7 and 8 as much now that I use Mac OS 10. But this is a great little tablet, and definitely something outside of what I'm normally used to using. And you know what? I really enjoy that. And I didn't feel that it was foreign enough that I couldn't start the tablet up, and I still get the familiar Windows desktop, so I really like that. What I really like about this tablet is this lovely keyboard. And it's so easy to detach the tablet from the keyboard when and while you're working with it. And I want to run through some tech specs as well. This one's a bit of a challenge in the sense if you're an Apple user, because when you're looking at things from an apps perspective, the Windows App Store is obviously not quite as good as the iOS App Store or the App Store for Apple. But you know, there's things about it that definitely compensate for that, and I'm going to go through some of those today. Some of the apps that I like to use, Viber is one of them for texting. Viber doesn't work with this tablet, which is unfortunate. It does work on many Apple devices. I use it on my iPhone. But you know, this is obviously a competitor for Microsoft's Surface tablet, and you know, there's some really nice things about it. I really like the fact that it weighs basically only 1.4 pounds. It is super light. Even with the keyboard. The keyboard makes it a little heavier, but you know, that's understandable. But I really like the fact that you can detach the keyboard. I'm going to show you that. It does come with or without the keyboard dock, and there's a price difference for that. There's two USB ports, mini HDMI port, and I've got a little dongle with it. The screen size is 92% of a regular screen size, so that's pretty close. This computer, if you can call it that, actually has a 5-megapixel camera and a 2-megapixel camera for front and rear, so that's pretty good. There's no LTE capability as of yet, unlike a lot of the Apple devices. Obviously, you can get those capability for the iPads and the iPad mini with and without 3G or 4G. It does come with Office 2013, which is awesome, and I really like the fact that with this tablet, you can use a full version of Office to use it. That's a huge advantage. I mean, obviously with the iPad, you can't, you know, install Office straight on there and start running it like you would a normal desktop computer. So I was able to word process and use PowerPoint and Excel on this, and I really like that. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Internet Explorer as a browser for web, but the Office capability is a huge selling point for this tablet. I want to go through some other features as well. It's kind of a complicated, pardon my thumb there, it's kind of a complicated swipe. You got to do your finger that way. So it's a little bit different than what I was used to. But the start button is still there, albeit in a different home. So that's the start screen, and there's my Internet Explorer. I can access Internet Explorer that way too. So I was just looking at my Gmail here through the account. So I'm going to swipe again. I'm going to go back to the start. So you can see that this is sort of the main interface screen there for the start. I could scroll through, look at all the stuff I've got running. So here's all my apps that I tried to install. You can see them all there. I always try to replicate my iPhone and my iOS devices as close as I can to the Surface, or sorry, to the Dell XPS 10, because I want to see how easy I can switch back and forth. And you know, I didn't think the Facebook app for this was great, but you know, it's great for stuff like reading and using the Globe and Mail, which I use a lot. I didn't run the getting started demo here, so I'm just going to go back here. I did use the camera. Nice little camera, probably not quite as good as the iOS devices, but you know, still fairly good for what you're getting. I'm going to swipe, go down to settings. Now, settings is something that I explored immediately, and I'll tell you here's why. So here they are here. You can see I've plugged in my home network. Look at this. Here's how to turn the tablet on and off this way. There it is there. Sleep, shutdown, update, and restart. And I'm actually going to go back to the desktop and go in this way because I want to show you some of the familiarity that I had with this device from the desktop. And what I liked about it was I still got the good old control panel. So anybody that uses a Windows machine in any of its iterations knows all about the control panel. So, you know, I'm able to go through here and look at if I need to set up internet and network connections. Obviously I'm not setting up a home group or anything like that, so I'm going to close out of that. Systems and security, all the usual stuff. So it's, you know, it's pretty close to a Windows machine, or it is a Windows machine. So, you know, I like to be able to know that this is still here and this is familiar for me. Hardware and sound is still there. Okay, so I can look at I can add all these different devices to this here if I want to plug it into a network, if I want to add different things. That's the control panel. I'm really happy that's still there because that's something that I need if I go to a Windows machine. It's very familiar to me. PC info, I use this quite a bit too. We get some more on the specs here. You can see there we've got the Snapdragon S4 processor in this baby, and 2 gigs of RAM, still 32-bit operating system, and it gives you all the information on this. I like the fact that Device Manager still exists. I use Device Manager a lot, so I get to see everything. So you can see all the input. All this is still the same, so still familiar for me as a Windows user. I know it's probably changed, but you know, I was looking for this stuff right away. And I'm going to close out of that. So you can still see there's some, I'm glad there's still some stuff I recognize in Windows. And I'm going to go to devices. It just says desktop, so I'm going to clear out of this. I'm going to move my fingers. The touching and the touchscreen is quite a bit different on this tablet as well than any kind of Apple or iOS device. So it takes a bit of time. We're looking at the share button here. So I don't have anything set up for sharing right now. But I want to show you the start button. There we are. So that's the main start screen. And, you know, it's pretty familiar for most people. I didn't engage in a lot in the functionality, but I do want to show you this if I can because I'm filming. So you can see my finger as I click back and forth here. That's how I detach this tablet from its station. Okay. So let me see if I can do it. Now, here it comes. So there, it's gone. So I've just detached it. Okay, and when I detach, there's a couple of little pins on the bottom right there. You can see all the different ports here, and you know, volume buttons there, headphones. I really like the screen on this tablet as well. And maybe not quite as sharp as the iPad screen, but advantage of there is it's got nice speakers on it. So I tend to be a bit picky with Apple devices at times. I know their speakers are not great. So there it is, standing alone in my hand. You know, it's really light to use. Obviously the keyboard makes it heavier, but this is a nice little tablet to truck around with. So I'm going to try and reattach it here. Then got you on camera, and it's going to take me a few minutes. But as you can see from over the top here, you can see where things hook in. So there's the hook there. See the port right there. So I'm going to try and plug it in. And here I go, and you hear it click, and it's a fairly good push to get it in and slot it down. But there we have it. That's the Dell XPS 10 tablet.